Alright, welcome back everybody. Today we're going to look at this small paper book. This is a sort of like a pamphlet, almost in size, and it's called The Inner Life of Cyprus by Dimitrios Stylianou, M-A-B-D. And we've got this illustration of a coin on the front here, this ancient Greek coin. And it says, "This is an enlarged design of a coin which very probably belongs to the reign of Marcus Aurelius Antonius Caracalla in 186 to 217 AD. The design on the coin represents the temple of Aphrodite at Paphos. The doves on each of the wings of the temple, which we can see right there, they are symbolic of the cult of Aphrodite. The oblong shape in front of the temple, in the court, is possibly a trough for birds, while the circular marks represent food for the doves. The crescent and the star above the temple are connected with the cult, so you can see that there. And this was printed at the Apollo Press of J.G. Kasselaitis in Nicosia, Cyprus, in 1931. And then this is the actual title page, which we can see has that same illustration of the ancient coin. It says, "The Inner Life of Cyprus, a collection of the traditions, customs, beliefs, and wisdom of the peasantry of Cyprus," by Dimitrios Stylianou, master at the American Academy in Larnaca, Cyprus. There's that illustration again, and then the publication date at the bottom. Here we have the dedication. It says, "Dedicated to all my friends in America in token of gratitude." And then we've got this, which is just a map of Cyprus, showing the scale there as well. It says, "Courtesy of Mostichian, Larnaca, Cyprus." And this book is in pretty poor shape. The spine is separating. Here is a sort of introductory beginning. It says, "The island of Cyprus is located 35 degrees north, 33 degrees east. It has an area of 3,584 square miles, with a population a little less than 400,000, most of which are Greeks, the rest Muslims. It is therefore the third largest island in the Mediterranean. The island has had a glorious past and played a very important part towards the development of the Mediterranean world. It was in turn ruled over by Phoenicians, Greeks, Egyptians, Persians, Romans, Byzantines, Lusignans, Genoese, and Venetians. In 1571, Cyprus became a province of the Turkish Empire and remained thus until 1878, when British troops occupied it. From that date on, the island was administered by a British High Commissioner in civil service until 1925, when it attained the full status of a British colony under a British governor. The exquisite beauty of the island gave birth to the Aphrodite legend and to many a song of praise. The antiquity of Cyprus, its beauty and charms, brought about its present inner life." And here we've got the table of contents. We can see New Year's Day, Epiphany Day, Easter Day, days and months, trees and bushes, old shrines revived, saints, the guardians and doctors, village quacks, birth and baptism, childhood and adult customs, and then at the very end it ends with just some bits of wisdom of Cyprus. And then here's a preface. And we've got a quote from Euripides there, and then the introduction. "The reason for this collection of glimpses into the inner life of Cyprus is twofold. First, these traditions, customs, and beliefs, like everything else, are subject to the great change-maker, time. Everything under his scepter undergoes a change. It was therefore thought appropriate to make this collection before the fast advancing tide of our modern era sweeps over and hides them forever. Second, the contents of these pages were once part of my inner life too. Up to the age of 15 they played a great part in my life. My absence abroad for 10 years gave me an objective outlook and a deep sense of appreciation for such. I felt therefore that I could present this collection with an unbiased, objective, and sympathetic attitude. And that's an introduction by the author, Demetrio Stiliano. And then here's the beginning with a section for New Year's Day. It says, every people has an inner and an outer life. The inner life is expressed by customs, traditions, and beliefs, the outer by activity and achievements. The inner life of a people is best represented by the rustic communities, while the outer by the urban. The country life of Cyprus is unusually colored by picturesque traditions, customs, and beliefs, which, to a sophisticated Westerner seem queer, but attractive. However, to the childlike, innocent peasant, these are a part of his life and a very vital one. A few of these customs and traditions which are connected with the New Year's season are described in the following paragraphs. The patron saint of New Year's Day is Saint Basil of Caesarea. On New Year's Eve, the peasants prepare a plate of boiled wheat, kolifa, on which they place a vasilopita, St. Basil's cake. This cake is made of cream of wheat, and the outside is decorated with sesame seeds. A silver coin is kneaded in the cake, and he who finds the coin, after the cake has been sliced, is considered to be the luckiest member of the family. On top of this cake, a lighted candle is fixed. This cake and the plate of boiled wheat with a glass of good wine are set on an oil vat or put in a granary, so that St. Basil, who is believed to visit all the houses on this evening, may eat and drink and thus bless the oil vat or granary. In the cities, on New Year's Eve, a man with a lantern goes from house to house and sings St. Basil's song. He is usually rewarded for this either with money or food. Another custom tied up with this season is that of wishing. On New Year's Eve, small branches of the olive tree are brought into the houses. The peasants seated around their fireplaces, mangalia, throw olive leaves on the embers and make wishes. If the green leaf squirms and jumps, that is a proof that the wish will be fulfilled. If it burns quietly, then the reverse will take place. Usually the wishes are those of lasses desiring to find out whether their best boyfriend loves them or not, or that of lads who are anxious to ascertain whether their beloved is still faithful. New Year's Day is also the day on which gifts are exchanged. In this case, the elders give to the young and the lovers to their sweethearts. One way of knowing whether a person will live through the new year is by sneezing on that day. That is New Year's Day. Thus, the more a person sneezes on that day, the happier he feels. We've got a section for Epiphany Day. It says, most of the traditions and customs of the rustic life of Cyprus are traced to a very ancient and pre-Christian period. These were taken up by early Christianity and given a Christian coding in order to satisfy the new converts. A study of the ancient religion of Cyprus reveals many such examples. Of course, what is true of Cyprus is true also of many other countries, which had a pagan civilization before Christianity appeared. The 5th and 6th of January are very important days because of the colorful traditions and customs which are connected with these 2 days. Unfortunately, some of these traditions and customs are, with the advancement of science, gradually abandoned. And here it says, on the 5th of January, which is called Galanta, in the morning, every peasant housewife is busy frying donuts, zurutiana, or as they are known by the city folk, lockmaids. These are dipped in honey and are eaten by the members of the family, but no one is allowed to touch them until a few handfuls have been thrown on the roof of the house, where the bad spirits, which are waiting anxiously, may eat from them and depart. These evil spirits are called by the peasants kalakansaroi. They are thought to be of a very queer and fantastic nature, and appear in various forms and shapes, often as huge balls of cotton rolling in the fields. Another tradition on this day is that of carrying a lighted candle home from the church, the light of which is kept burning for several days, and from the smoke of which soot is obtained, with which the peasant lasses blacken their eyelashes, so that they may have prettier and more charming eyes. And then a section for Easter Day. And then here's a section for different days and months. It says, different people all over the world have different months, days, and hours, which they look upon with reverence, fear, or awe. Wherever science is not permeated, such attitudes are the strongest. Back of each such belief, tradition, or custom, however, there is a cause which brought it about. Cyprus, too, in this respect, is rich. On the first of the year, people make an effort to wear new clothes so that they shall be wearing new clothes throughout the year. And then again it says, sneezing on this day is essential because it is a sign that the person who sneezes will live that year. And if he sneezes more than once, so much the better, for it indicates that the person will live more than 1 year. On the 1st of March, every peasant mother sees to it that her children have a ring around one of their fingers, or a bracelet made of twisted red and blue threads. The wearing of these is believed to bring good luck and health. These are worn until Easter Eve, when they are cut off and thrown into the bonfire, which is built in the churchyard. Also, early in the morning, on the 1st day of March, before the sun is up, the lasses of the village go to the fields and gather dewdrops, with which they wash their faces, so that the burning sun of the spring and summer will not darken their complexion. May Day, as in most countries, is a joyful day. All young children of the villages wear garlands around their necks and carry little baskets filled with flowers and go out to the field singing the Song of May. Above the threshold, flower wreaths are hung, and on the doors, blossoms of the pomegranate trees are placed. These blossoms are considered to bring good luck to the home. There is a belief that only during May one should drink a few drops of water early in the morning. During all other months, drinking water before breakfast is thought to be harmful. That's sort of interesting. I've heard that drinking water first in the day is actually supposed to be good for you, but I don't know if that's true or not. It's interesting to see the opposite. A very interesting legend is connected with the tamarisk, or marikos, as it is called in Cyprus. It is believed that when Christ was captured in the Garden of Gethsemane, he was tied to a tamarisk branch. He tried to free himself, but the tamarisk opposed him and did not break off. Christ, looking down upon it, cursed it and said, "Your blossom shall never mature, but shall wither into nothing." From that time on, though the tamarisk blooms, it never bears fruit. The peasants look upon this bush with disdain and do not use its wood for kindling. The seeds of the pomegranate have a religious significance. They are mixed with boiled wheat and taken to church in order that the dead may be blessed. And here's a section for old shrines revived. A careful study of the ancient religion of Cyprus reveals some interesting facts with regard to ancient places of worship. The physical features of the island have, from the very beginning, been inducive to the adoration of the powers of nature. Of the many ancient shrines that are to be found all over the island, a great number are located near caverns, springs, rivers, streams, and hills. Things may undergo a change, but the voices of the past still re-echo in Cyprus, especially among its rural communities. The pagan shrines still keep their importance, under Christian names, still render their services to mankind, and nature and her powers still fascinate and captivate the soul of man. Thus, where once stood the statue or altar of a god or goddess, today stands a simple icon or a heap of stones sacred to the innocent child of the soil. Some of these caves and springs are considered to have healing power. If a person suffers from sores on his body, he is taken to a nearby shrine, noted for its miraculous healing power. And if it is near a spring, the patient or the persons accompanying him gather some mud and smear it on his sores to bring about a cure. If there is no spring, some soot from the oil lamp or candle lighted for the patron saint of the shrine is collected to put on the sores. If the shrine is near a stream or river, then the patient washes himself in the water at hand and takes some of this holy water home for further use. In times of epidemic, threads are placed around the various shrines in the neighborhood and often around churches. The idea is that the evil spirits which are causing the plague will get tangled up in these threads, and thus the epidemic will be unable to spread. Here we've got some adult customs. It says, one way of foretelling whether a person speaks good or evil about one is by the buzzing noise of the airs. If the right air is buzzing, it is considered a sign that one is being praised. If the left, he is being accused. If both the airs seem to buzz at the same time, then the person says, if they speak evil of me, let evil fall upon them. If good, may they receive good. The pouring of wine on the floor is accepted to be a good sign, for it will bring happiness. On the contrary, the pouring of olive oil is looked upon as an unpleasant omen, for it will surely bring about bad luck, and in order to avert any calamity, a great quantity of wine is poured on the olive oil. That kind of makes some sense to me, since olive oil is sort of slippery, and when wine is on the floor, it just gets sticky. So the olive oil would be more dangerous. Here's a section for the dead. Nothing has perplexed the human race more than the mystery of death, and to no other particular human experience has man paid more attention. In none of his relationships has he done more to show reverence and sorrow than to his dead. The cult of the dead, the traditions and ceremonies about the dead, are universal phenomena. The traditions, beliefs, and customs connected with the dead among the peasantry of Cyprus are of great interest. As soon as a person is thought to be dying, he is taken from the bedstead and placed on an ordinary cloth on the floor. This is done in order that he may die a humble death. The priest is then invited to perform the last unction. As soon as the person has expired, they shut his eyes and bind his mouth so that no evil spirit may enter. Then the dead is washed with warm water, after which they take a piece of white cloth, burn a hole in it, large enough so that the head of the deceased can pass through, and this serves as a garment, and is a symbol of purification. After this they cross his hands and feet, which they tie with twine to commemorate Christ's death. This being done, they then cover him with a white sheet. From the time a person dies to the time he is buried, there is much weeping and lamentation. Every picture or mirror is turned towards the wall and covered with black cloth, and is left thus for 40 days, sometimes for a year. During the night a watchman watches the corpse all night long for fear that a cat may leap upon the dead person and bring a curse upon the body. And this is a section for beliefs and customs related to animals. Here we can read, no other animal is dearer to the man of the soil in Cyprus than the ox. To him the ox is a blessed animal. It is the means by which he produces the staff of life. Thus on Christmas Eve, when the peasant boils his wheat, he first gives to his oxen to eat, and then passes it to his children, for he believes that unless he first feeds the oxen, his wheat will not be blessed. Even the breath of the oxen is considered to be blessed, and in winter the whole family sleep in the same room where the oxen are kept. That sort of reminds me about how cows are treated in Hinduism. So the hooting of an owl is looked upon with fear, for whenever the owl hoots at night, the women call upon God or the saints to drive away the evil, because the owl's hooting is considered a warning that one will die. In connection with this, whenever a hen is heard crowing like a rooster, it is believed that a member of the family will die or fall ill, and the hen is immediately killed. Thus, many a hen loses her head by attempting to imitate a rooster. Alright, so here's a section for the bits of wisdom of Cyprus. And we can see the proverbs of a people are bits of comprehensive wisdom arising from the experiences of everyday life. Proverbs are not the result of the meditation of any individual sage, but they are rather the product of human experience. This being the case, proverbs are, therefore, bits of wisdom which aim at expressing some truth tested by experience or observation. A number of proverbs are nothing more than condensed fables or short lessons aimed to advise, teach, or warn. And we can see at the bottom, the first one in the list of proverbs here is, when members of your family are thirsty, do not throw away water, which is pretty good advice. Here we've got, for the prosperous person, even the cock lays eggs. And then we've got another one, the sugar has not yet fallen into the water, meaning do not get excited about it. With the scraps, one cannot make a cake. A ragged tailor, a barefooted shoemaker, and a naked weaver, meaning many people lack that which they supply to others. And this is just a saying, that's a lazy man's load. I like this one. The tiny, tiny ant destroys great things. And then Friday's laughters become Saturday's tears. And this is one of my favorites, I think, here. This one. Bad words, like bad money, always remain with the one who passes them on. And another one, he who does not know how to die lingers on. The formation of a habit and the breaking of it are related. Salute your enemy in order to break his heart. And then above it, accept all opinions but never disregard your own. Alright, so that's The Inner Life of Cyprus by Dimitrios Steliano. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give us a like and a comment and subscribe. And alright, well, I hope to see you next time. Thanks. Bye.